So as you see, the chamomile plant is just full of beautiful daisy-like flowers, and this is what we are going to pick to make our tea. Hey, Jeannie here with Rooted in Love Urban Homestead. Thanks for hanging out with me a bit today. We're going to talk about harvesting chamomile and making some tea with the chamomile. We'll talk about some benefits of chamomile and also some things to watch out for if you're taking it medicinally. So let's get busy harvesting our chamomile. So to harvest chamomile, you want to harvest it when it's at this point. You see the leaves are nice and spread out, and you just pull it up from the top, and then it ends up like this, so you don't have much stem, into the harvesting basket. So here you see a bloom that is already going to seed. So you want to make sure that if you want to pick this one, then you can just crumble it and put it down, and it will go to seed and it'll grow more plants. So I don't like to over harvest. So I'm just picking what I need today to make some fresh tea. Now I could save and dry these as well, but I'm going to make fresh chamomile tea, and to do that you need about 2 teaspoons of fresh flowers. Only the flowers, no leaves or stems. Alright, so we've moved inside and we're getting ready to make our tea. So we've harvested our beautiful chamomile daisy-like flowers. They're so precious. And we need to now steep it in some hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. So you could just put your plant matter in your mug and cover it and strain it out. I like to use this biodegradable tea bag and put my plant matter or loose tea in there and then steep that, and then I can take it out. It's very easy then to take it out of the water. So remember, if we have fresh plant matter, we need 2 teaspoons of fresh plant matter. So I'm just picking up my chamomile flowers and I'm sticking them in the bag. Now if you had some leftover, I don't have any leftover, but if you had some leftover, then just remember to sit it out on like a screen or a colander. And you could even do it on the counter or on the table on a towel to let them dry. And if you want to dry them, it takes several days before they are completely dry, even maybe a week or 2. I like to ensure that my fresh plant matter that I pick is really, really dry before I even attempt to store it. Then I put it in a glass jar with a lid on it and store it away in a cupboard that doesn't get a lot of sunlight. And the reason you want to make sure that it's really dry is if you don't, then any plant matter that's not fully dried is going to mold. And so once you put that in a jar and it begins to mold, then it contaminates all of the other dried plant matter in that jar. So you want to just make sure that if you're drying it, that you just give it plenty of time to thoroughly dry all the way through. Okay, so I put my fresh plant matter in my bag. I'm going to close up my bag, and I'm going to drop it in my favorite mug. It's an owl mug, and I love owls. So I'm going to drink out of my owl mug tonight as I relax and unwind after a long day and a long week. We had a great week last week. My daughter graduated from high school and she turned 18. So this week I'm a little wound up, and chamomile just kind of helps me unwind at the end of the day to get my brain to slow down. So once you put your bag in your mug, then you want to take boiling water that's just boiled. You don't want to do rolling hot water. You just put it in your mug And then I just like to take a spoon and push it down in there just to make sure that all of the plant matter gets really wet. And then I take just a plate and cover it up and set it aside. And you will need to set it aside for 5 to 10 minutes so it can seep. While the tea is seeping, let's talk a little bit about chamomile. So chamomile has been used medicinally since 500 BC. She's been around a long time. And before you start using chamomile or any herb medicinally, you need to check with your healthcare provider. Your healthcare provider knows what medications you are on and knows if chamomile will interact with those medicines or if it has a possibility of. Now, I'm sure that probably you could drink a cup a night and be okay, but if you're taking this in larger doses, several cups a night, or you're using products that have a lot of chamomile in them, like salves or lotions, you really need to check with your healthcare provider. Chamomile is great for anti-anxiety. It helps calm. It's a calming herb, and also it's an anti-inflammatory herb and an anti-spasmodic herb. So she has a lot of uses. So if you're taking larger quantities of chamomile, there are some concerns about bleeding. So if you are taking any medication that thins your blood, then you want to be very cautious in taking chamomile or using chamomile products on your skin. Also, she is in the ragweed family. So if you've had severe allergic reactions in the past to ragweed, you may want to use caution when taking chamomile. Chamomile, though, is overall fairly safe, but you want to use precaution when taking any herb medicinally. And by that, I mean taking it in large quantities, not just a cup of tea here or there. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and our tea has been sitting there seeping away, producing nice, relaxing, calming tea. So you uncover it, you need to be careful because a lot of times, depending on what your plate is made out of, it can get warm. So you want to just, I like to stir my tea bag just to get all the goodness out of there. And then I like to wrap that string around and really just get every good drop of chamomile out. I wish you could smell this. It smells lovely. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. Yum. It's a very mild, kind of flowery taste. It's not a strong tea. If you want something sweet, then you could just add a little bit of honey. If you want to add other herbs like peppermint or lemon balm would be great. It's also a calming herb to your tea bag. Feel free to do so. You can make it how you want it. So I hope that you enjoy your chamomile tea and have some time at the end of the day to kind of unwind, to think about the day, to be grateful for things that have happened throughout the day. Kind of count our blessings. It's always good at the end of the day to count your blessings. So thanks for hanging out with me a little bit today. May all you do be rooted in love. Until next time.